के निशान पर बटन दबाए और हैदराबाद को मेन स्ट्रीम से जोड़ने का काम करे।
मुख्यमंत्री डीसी मुख्यमंत्री यहीं से बनेगा।
The BJP in Telangana is growing. Electorally speaking, in the 2023 Assembly elections, they doubled their vote share from 7% to 14% and also grew the number of seats they won from 1 to 8. In the 2019 Lok Sabha elections too, they put up a formidable performance, winning 4 of the 17 seats in Telangana with a vote share of 19.7%. Over the next few minutes, let's dive into BJP and the Sangh Parivar's efforts on ground in Telangana to increase their influence, leveraging culture, manipulating and reshaping historical narratives, attracting leaders from other parties, and also employing social engineering tactics. In northern districts like Adilabad and Nizamabad, where Telangana shares a border with Maharashtra, statues and banners of Shivaji have mushroomed everywhere, a phenomenon which is not more than 10 years old. Shivaji, a Maratha king who fought against Muslim kings, has been appropriated by BJP and its affiliates.
I don't remember seeing these many Shivaji statues anywhere in Telangana. In the last elections, I went to rural Telangana to cover last elections, and I was so surprised. So many Shivaji statues everywhere. I know for sure these Shivaji statues have come because of BJP's presence. They are presenting Shivaji as Hindu pride. This is because of that. Bandi Sanjay, Shivaji, Hanuman Shobha Yatra. This combination actually work for them very well.
As Hindutva is growing, activists have accused the BJP of appropriating sub-alternative cultural festivals. They give the examples of Medaram Jatara, a tribal festival, and Kumreli Mallana Temple Jatara, a deity of the BC community. The fundamental differences in the rituals and celebrations are increasingly becoming Brahminical, they say. In the last few years, at Kumreli Mallana Temple Jatara, the marriage ritual has been replaced with Agama Shastras.
Processions like these, carried out by right-wing organizations, have also increased in the last 10 years. Shobha Yatra, as they called, have now become a forum for BJP leaders like Raja Singh, Bandi Sanjay, and Arvind Dharmapuri to make communally loaded speeches.
In Hyderabad, every year, huge processions are carried out in areas like Begum Bazar, Koti, Dholpet, which are thriving business hubs settled by the North Indian communities like the Gujaratis and Marwadis.
ఇలా తిండి మీద వ్యాపారాల మీద ఇలా బిజినెస్ జిహాదీ నడుస్తున్నది, కల్చర్ జిహాదీ నడుస్తున్నది, లవ్ జిహాదీ నడుస్తున్నది. అనేక రకాలుగా జిహాదీ పేరుని హిందూ సమాజం మీద ప్రత్యక్షంగా పరోక్షంగా దాడులు జరుగుతున్న విషయంలో హిందూ సమాజం జాగృతంగా వల్లే చైతన్యవంతం ఉండాలి.
These speeches have been used to set a polarizing narrative targeting minorities. By targeting Asaduddin Owaisi and AIMIM again and again, the BJP has pushed the Hindu-Muslim divide in Telangana. They've used the Bhagyalakshmi temple next to Charminar to push an unsubstantiated story of Bhagyanagar. They've used the violence done by Razakars in the 1940s to dehumanize Muslims of today, and have also linked it to the Owaisis and even called them sympathizers of terror. the BJP has taken a multi-pronged approach to polarize Telangana. The party's candidate fielded against Owaisi this time, Madhvi Lata, has been exploiting all this to elevate herself. After this video went viral, Madhvi has been interviewed by many news channels where she's made communal remarks completely uncensored. But when TNM tried to ask her why her campaign had turned so communal, here's how she responded.
There are a lot of ways in which you came on this stories, but your campaign has gone quite community called Friends of Iceland. You called it very concept.
So they want to consolidate Hindu voters. Their target is not OIC, not Muslims, and you know what the lady who pulled her arrow to Masjid is not to attack Masjid. It is to attract Hindus.
Consolidate Hindus in other conflicts.
So they feel that this time they made that kind of experiment also. I mean, that is also we must consider as a strategy to attract vote. Just Hyderabad, the next constituency is Cheral, where almost 4 to 5 lakhs Muslim voters are. And with that confidence only, Ranjit Reddy is fielded over there. Now, Vishweshwar Reddy is pretty happy that, Madhvi Lata, made all my Hindu voters turn towards me.
The consecration of the Ram temple in Ayodhya also presented the right-wing organizations with an opportunity to spread Hindutva deeper and wider in rural areas.
This Talambralo of Ayodhya and the turmeric rice, and we don't know how they brought that huge turmeric rice. It is called Talambralo or Akshintalu. So, Akshintalu. And they distributed each and every household.
This is done by BJP
And they
work together.
They work together. And we have interacted, with several people during the Ram incarnation and all that. And everybody was, they were so devotionally, towards them. And that gave a lot of confidence to the BJP workers at the ground level. So it built a kind of narration that BJP is going to win. If you go and see any village, in every village door, corner, you can find Jai Sri Ram, a stenciled mark of Jai Sri Ram. At every village, to every wall of main entrance at the door, you will find.
This was done voluntarily by the residents, or
no? I don't think it is not done by residents, and it is a very organized manner.
This year, almost every apartment celebrated Ram Navami. They did that, marriage, Rama's marriage also in the community halls. So including this apartment. So that is also this north community, couple of communities. I don't want to name them. Everyone knows them. So they're playing a very big role, very silently. And I can say that BJP can always get things done that way.
Hindutva is mostly used by the BJP to capture headlines as well as public attention. But on ground, they've been reaching out to communities that are numerically dominant but lack political as well as social capital. Basically, caste groups and communities that feel ignored both by the PRS as well as the Congress.
मेरा छोटा भाई कृष्णा
Ahead of the assembly election in November 2023, Prime Minister Modi shared the stage with the prominent Dalit leader Mandakrishna Madhika and promised to set up a committee to give sub-categorization to the Madhika community within the scheduled caste, a long pending demand of the community. This signaled the BJP's serious intent to reach out to the Dalit community. And since then, Mandakrishna Madhika has been campaigning for the BJP, not just in Telangana, but also in Andhra Pradesh. The outreach to the Madhika community may not yield immediate results, but it's part of BJP's long-term plan to create a voter base for itself.
Categorization demand is only, not in the entire Dalits wanted it. Only Madhika and subcaste. Malas, they don't want the categorization. So the Dalits were literally, if you make it half and half, the population, in this half, only 50% of the people, in this 50% of the people, and not all Madigas are here for the categorization. So they say that when there are no government jobs, why do we need categorization? But since people have that, dreams of, some justification will happen.
In Telangana, Madigas form over 50% of the SC community, and the SCs form around 15% of the total population. For long, Madiga leaders have complained that the Malas are getting the dominant share of the benefits of reservation under the SC category. So with the promise of subcategorization, BJP hopes to win over the Madiga voters.
But while some activists welcome the move, few believe that the subcategorization promise further polarized Dalits into Dalit Hindus and Dalit Christians. A recent attack on Dalit Christian church at Janwada village of Chevella is one such indicator.
Within the Dalits, the Hindu Dalits and Christian Dalits, they are polarizing, right? So they are targeting church, who are all Dalits registered in the Christian records, baptized or whatever. They are separating them. So earlier it never happened. So this is a direct, and also you are a Christian, then you are not a Dalit. You are a foreigner, Britisher, or you are an agent, and you are not following the Hindu rituals or whatever. So this is more bothering us.
Like elsewhere in the country, the BJP is seeking the backing of backward classes in Telangana too. Specifically in the state, they have been pursuing the Mudiraju as well as the Munnur Kapu communities. Their prominent BC faces, Bandi Sanjay, Etal Rajender, Dharmapuri Arvind, all hail from the same communities. And the BJP leaders in the state constantly remind the electorate that Prime Minister Modi also hails from an OBC community. For short-term gains, BJP has been taking in leaders both from the BRS and Congress to yield quick results. Anybody who's unhappy with their party is welcome in BJP, irrespective of their ideology. Leaders who can give them quick results and keep BJP in the game.
The Lok Sabha election is the best example of this. The BJP announced 9 candidates in its first list on March 2nd, and remaining seats lacked candidates. 6 out of 17 candidates nominated by the BJP were turncoats from either BRS or Congress.
Initially, 10 years ago, if somebody has to become a leader in BJP, they must have come from RSS. But now, they are not following it. Now, if you are leader of any party, any ideology, it's okay. If you come with us, we will take him. You need not be a party in the ruling, either a ruling party, opposition party, you split them, you take them. If you cannot split them, how many number you want, use them. So that's how they are taking. Why Madhavi Lata joined? Because they faced humiliation with BRS, they cannot go with Congress, so they went with BJP. And Kim's director wife, I think her name is Padma Veerappaneni, she also joined BJP. See, now all these people, they want to keep themselves, they want to be close with BJP so that their businesses will be safe and secure.
Etal Rajender, whose political foundations lie in the left ideology, rose to become a minister in KCR's cabinet. He later joined the BJP in 2021. Being a popular leader of the backward classes, his defection to the party brought a massive support, which until then only had Kishan Reddy and K. Lakshman.
With BRS ceding space after the loss in the 2023 assembly elections, the BJP has become a much bigger player. And after Karnataka, Telangana has become the second state in the south where BJP is growing and has found success.
This election season, your right to choose puts you at the heart of it again.
We'd like to be your eyes and ears.
Choose the journalism and media that serves democracy and you.
Simply head on to newslaundry.com/subscription and pick up the TNMNL joint subscription of your choice today.